how are you? How's everybody doing? I hope everybody is doing well. So I guess welcome back and let's get started. Tonight we're going to pick up where we left off. I do, however, want to read the last part to you because it feeds right into the next line. So we're going to go over that part real quick. Okay, so here we are. Women and girls who are trafficked and assaulted in every way are not prostitutes. They are the victims of human and child trafficking and intimate assault, which we all know what the intimate assault stands for. Let that sink in. Please let that sink in. Everyone really needs to let this sink in. Again, what group and who does this sound like? What type of people do this? What kind of stories have you heard of the people who are into this and do this? Whether people believed the stories or not, which is just amazing to me how anybody could not believe it. Excuse me. Real quick, I did go to the doctor today. I am good. I did have pneumonia when I was a child, so anytime I get a cold, it settles in my chest and gives me a little problems after the sickness is gone, and that's where I'm at now. So I did use the inhaler he gave me, so I will be like I don't know, coughing a little bit, that's all I can say, because it's going to irritate it and try to, make it better. So please excuse me. It is embarrassing for me. I apologize, but it is what it is for me to get better. So if I have to do that, I am sorry. Okay, so let me go back to where I was. I hate going off track, but I had to say that because it was repetitive that time. Okay. So, again, what group of people? We've heard about Pizzagate. We've heard about very wealthy people. We've heard about government officials, Hollywood, etc., which is why I want to get into this next documentary, the Out of Shadows. I really want to get into that because, again, this is somebody who did the documentary based on his own knowledge, him being part of Hollywood. You can't get any clearer than that. I hope that sounded right. Than that. When it's an actual Hollywood person. And again, there's other people who have stood up and admitted this in the Hollywood realm. So how, again, can people continue to say it's not true is beyond me. These people aren't lying, and several of them are top actors. Why would they lie about the people that they're in business with and working with? And being the top of the line where they could be casted out or lose jobs or money or gigs or whatever you want to call them. And top roles for what? Why would they risk that to make it up? I mean, it's just about common sense, people. If you have common sense, which I know a lot of rich people don't, but if you have common sense, then you could see right through all of this, and it's true. Whether you want to admit it to yourself again. Now, again, that's another issue, but people who don't want to admit it, I don't even know what to say about that. Like, you're going to, I guess, pay the price for that. I'm going to put it this way. God is with us all. It is foretold in the Bible. If you read through the corruption of man who has tampered with it. if you look into the past, if you know all the biblical stories, you know your faith is supposed to get you through everything. You know your faith and God is supposed to get you through the worst part of what is going to happen in this world. You know if you fall, you will fall to the demons and the devil. Here's your sign. And we are right now in the midst of all of that. So why wouldn't people believe the cruelty, the disgusting things, the horror that evil is doing out there? And evil comes in all shapes and sizes, people, etc. And people accept evil for many reasons. Greed, power, money. I don't believe it's conspiracy theory when you talk about making deals with the devil. Do you? People really do that. And it gets them places in life. And have you ever asked yourself why some actresses and actors die so young? So many of them. So young. Because the devil's not going to tell you how long you get what he's going to give you. And that's what he likes to do, is trick people, fool people. So when he gives you a timeline on, yeah, you can have riches and wealth and anything you want. And if he does or doesn't give you a timeline, sorry, I had somebody, as you can see, drive by. I don't think he's going to be honest, for one. And for two, I really don't think he's honest enough to give you a timeline. The deal is that he will give you what you want. And I don't think many people ask for the timeline. But I believe people who make deals, some get the timeline that it's allotted. And others may keep feeding the beast to get more time added to their deal. So, again, you can believe or not believe. But isn't that why we're here on this earth? Isn't that how it all started? Isn't every religion and every faith taught you that? And again, there is no discrimination here. I believe, if you believe that there's a God, I don't care who you follow as far as in goodness, what you believe, how you practice your faith. We are all God's people, and we all have our different ways, but we are still God's people, and it shouldn't separate us because we practice our beliefs in different ways. Just like skin color and nationality shouldn't play a part of it. But again, that's not really who we are. That's what's been put in everybody's head by school, media, and the people who want it in your head. And I'm going to keep going over this in every video because it's very important that people see this. And it really struck a nerve with me with people saying that this kind of stuff isn't true. And so when I think about that and I'm reading these things, it really bothers me. Because if a stranger can come into someone's house and do this to a child, you don't believe there's other sick people that do it in other ways? Easier ways, through power, money. Come on. Epstein. How many people have to hear his story? The coach of all the Olympic girls. They're all powerful and wealthy and connected to all the people that were brought forth in Pizzagate. There is evidence. There is more evidence shortly to come out, from what I understand. And from even the news, what I heard is even Wiener and his laptop and all other kinds of crap are going to come out. So again, there you go, another politician. How do you not believe these people are involved? And those are the people that you choose to run our lives and tell us what we can and can't do. And I think that's the reason people are scared to admit what is true and what is not. Because how could you continue to allow these people to do what they do? In every way. As far as run us and as far as this disgusting thing they do with women and children. So, I don't want to go too much into preaching right now because this is my preaching. And that's said with sarcasm. Because I do want to get through a lot of this, but I had to prove the point of why you should believe and why people choose not to believe. And stop being followers. Be leaders. Take control of your own person, thoughts, faith, mouth, speeches, talking, whatever. Stop being afraid to say what you feel, what you think. You know, a lot of people want to cower, best way to put it, when people are around. You know, they're afraid to speak up or say something because they're afraid they're going to be cast out or thought of as crazy or thought of this, thought of that. I don't care. I don't care what people think. You know why? Because those people don't have my heart, don't have control of me, don't have control of who I believe in, don't have control of my beliefs, and I will never give anybody that power. Whether it's a friend, an acquaintance, a partner, or the government, or anybody else. I am me. My faith lies where it lies. And trust me, like I've said before in other videos, I've been through every religion. And I believe they all have a part to play. But the only one using that against us are the people who want you divided. Do you think when you're walking the streets that the guy over here cares what religion you are? Do you think they really care who you're married to over here? Do you really think they care what color you are over here? Not in my neighborhood. Probably not in yours either. But when the government wants you to get upset or feel some type of way against your neighbors, they're going to put some kind of hate speech on the news. They're going to show some random attack of somebody of your nationality. And it's going to rile you up. Why? Because they planted the trigger right there. Every one of us, no matter what nationality, no matter what color, we have all played a role and paid a price by our government. Go back through my videos and look through the French Revolution, World War I, World War II, Nazi Germany. Yes, black people were slaves. So were Jews. So were Palestinians. Not only that, they didn't get a choice to live. They didn't get a choice to be captured. They got a choice to die, to be slaughtered, to be murdered. And nothing I say is downplaying anybody's history. But what people need to realize is in every color, creed, nationality, etc., We have all been victims. We have all been victims in some point in time on this earth. You are not the only victim. And though the government wants you to believe you've been victimized by, other nationalities and other people, the truth is you've been played fools and you've been victimized by your government. When are you people going to see that? Who was behind all the wars? The people running the government. Who was behind all the murdering? The people running the government. Who was playing chess pieces with your lives? The government. Who put all the little triggers in your head to take it out on other people and have other people murdered or go to war or so on and so on and so on that I've went through? But if you haven't seen it, go back and watch the real history. But even in regular history, you still know, and I mean regular by what they taught you, not regular, but by what they taught you, the Jews were freaking slaughtered and starved and so forth, and so were many others, murdered through endless, countless, freaking useless wars of just playing with people's life and cutting down population. And it'll happen again as long as you guys don't wake up. History will repeat itself, and for the last time. And then the devil will be on the throne, and demons will be running our world, and then will y'all wake up? I'm hoping you'll wake up now, not then. Because it's foretold in their history, in your Bible's history, and even in the little bit of history that was correct that they gave us, that they taught us. They just manipulated it. And they put the triggers in your head. So the next time some stupid crap comes out on the news, don't blame your neighbors, don't blame other races, religions, or anything else. Blame your government. Because they're the ones who put everything into play. They're the ones who've made everything the way it's been for centuries. The people behind the people who lead the government. And the government follows right along because they get these massive paychecks that we pay for. They get freedom to break laws and violate people and do sick, sadistic stuff. And walk away with no punishment. What more could they ask for? People wake up. And I should have said this before, but I didn't know I was going to go this deep. Because I wrote this, I was going to put it into either my title or something later, somewhere. You can't handle the truth. Do you really want to know the truth? You should. And if you believe in God and yourself, you can handle it, knowing He will protect you, and your heart is true and filled with faith. That is all you need. That is all you need to unite and stop what's going to happen. And it's coming fast. If you can't already see the threats made for the people who don't want to do certain things and don't want to do what the government's asking them to do, they're trying to find loopholes to punish you in different ways. Here we go, it started. So, are you going to allow the government to keep violating your rights? Are you going to allow them to keep stealing what's yours? Are you going to allow them to open their arms and welcome evil into this world to run it? I surely hope not. It is time to take a stand. Talk with people. Spread the word like it says in the Bible and unite with one another and put a stop to this insanity. Let me wipe my chapstick. Because it is gunking up. All right. sorry, but I knew with the medicine I had to take, I was going to have to put the chapstick on and get my throat nice and moist for this. Okay. So let's get back to this because now we're really furthering on my time. But again, I'm good with the preaching too. If that's what it takes to wake people up, I'm good with that too. And I thank God and I thank my friend that I talked to last night who, you know, it believes in me. And that makes me feel great. That somebody believes in me. And you know, the people who thank me in my videos and tell me what a good job I'm doing. And I just want to help people. This is about helping people. And we all need to stand and help each other. So I hope it does make the videos a little better when I talk to you guys about this stuff. I can't wait to have lives and talk to y'all one-on-one. But for now, I'm going to get back into this because I really want to get through this. And I just got to stop talking so much. But I had to say this about this because this is about the children. And I just can't let things go when it has to do with children. I can't. And if people don't believe, they can't be saved. And you need to believe so that we can save them. That's the sick part, is the people who don't believe that this can happen or want to be in denial or push it out of their minds, or if it ain't happening to somebody I know or my family, it's not worth it. No, that's wrong. It's wrong. These are children that are being mutilated and abused and tortured, and we need to save them. We need to unite and put a stop to this sick, sadistic stuff. Please believe what the truth is and spread it as wide as you can. We have to stop what's happening to these children. And look in your news. It may not be in certain papers or certain newses, but it's out there. Start looking. Go to my Facebook. There's some stuff there. And I'll keep posting more now. Okay, let's get back to this, okay? Where was I? Sounds like. Okay. And again, what group and who does it sound like? Hint. All others that are involved in the same sick acts, that again, are not going to stop it. They are not going to stop it because they are every bit of it and play every part in it. Believe that. Because they're in it. They're in it too. Here is your biggest sign coming up. The UN responds. Responds to what happened to these girls and the investigations and the reporting and everything that was supposed to be done that nothing was done about. This was their response. And I'm sorry, it threw me off because I forgot we went over this yesterday. The UN response, it wasn't important enough to follow up on. You have women and children and boys, girls, it doesn't matter, being violated. And it wasn't important enough. It was no big deal to do anything about it. Are you freaking kidding me? Again, if you, this is everywhere. Look it up. It's everywhere. And you think that they can get away with this and the other sick people that we've told you about, they're not going to get away with it? If these people can get away with it, they're only getting away with it because others are too. The ones higher up than them. Wake up. Oh, God. It just, I'm sure some of you are feeling me right now. Okay? The UN responds it wasn't important enough to follow up on. Boys will be boys. Are you freaking kidding me? Oh, boys will be boys. Let them do whatever they want to these women and children, because boys will just be boys. They advise them not to wear their uniforms anymore or park when visiting their victims or handling or dealing with their victims. Or to park the UN vehicles directly outside when supposedly visiting prostitutes. Because we all know they're not prostitutes. Then they shipped an additional 800,000 plus condoms to Cambodia to help prevent the spread of AIDS. Wow. And HIV, which they're the same but two different parts of it. Wow. Freaking wow. So here's your go get 'em, boys, free card to do whatever you want. Just don't spread HIV or AIDS. I'm not sure how to say this second part or word, so it's in Bosnia and Herzegovina. I know, again, with an accent, I can't pronounce it right, even listen to her, because she says it with an accent. But it's right there next to Bosnia. I believe it is a part, or right under Bosnia. Herzegovina. Okay. And then I have the eye roll thing going on. Oh, well. 1993. That was a long time ago. Okay. 2 years later in Bosnia. 1995. And Herzegovina. I don't know how to say the word. I'm trying the best I can. It's Herzejovina. Herzegovina. Anyways, in 1995. Evidence emerged. Evidence. The women and children were being trafficked, and worse, for U.S. personnel. For UN personnel, Rome children are trained to provide these horrible services. So again, the women and children were being trafficked, and worse, for UN personnel. Rome children are trained to provide these horrible services. Are you freaking kidding me? And what? You're still not going to believe that these types of people don't do these things? Again, news reports. Go look them up. So the evidence emerged, and that they were doing the same thing where these UN people were in other countries. All the same things going on by the UN in different countries. The same thing started, and they were involved with it. However, it took 6 years for the UN to come forward with a statement, just a freaking statement. And only because of rising public attention. Only because people were throwing freaking fits, and it was plastered all over their news. And I'm going to screw up this lady's name, I'm sure. But I remember this coming out. Balkovac. Okay, that was the beginning of the newspaper post. And it says, UN tries to cover up peacekeepers' basically involvement in violent intimacy, abuse scandal. The UN have promised to investigate allegations of you-know-what abuse by peacekeepers in the CAR, Human Rights Investigation, and blower Catherine Bolkovec. That's why we said that name in the beginning. That's her last name. Tried to investigate similar causes. I'm sorry. It's waving to my friend that drove by. Tried to investigate similar cases in Bosnia. And lost her job. There you go, people. That's really how much they care. This lady brought forth, she was a police officer there. She was sent to be a police officer there. She found out what was going on. She didn't like it. She reported it. They fired her and then covered it up. Covered it up for the people who were violating these women and children. They fired her. So once again, here's your truth. And this case has been out there because I seen it a long time ago. And do you think it's still going on today? Of course it is. Probably worse than it's ever gone on. Police officer Catherine Bolkovec is sent to Bosnia to be part of the international police of the United Nations. But when she finds out about human trafficking and slavery, intimate abuse slavery, activities mainly directed by the UN officers, the military, and the IPTF, I believe that is. Yeah, IPTF, kidnapped from their countries. The girls were sold to traffickers in Bosnia. The official investigation into this matter reported is obviously reluctance by the UN to investigate this matter. That the UN peacekeepers and others were involved, even with evidence. Did anything happen? Were any actions taken? Were any punished? Were any prosecuted? No, they did nothing. They then rewrote the definition of trafficking to make it a less serious crime under international law and failed to provide adequate victim protection. So their way to deal with it was not to do anything for the victims, not to stop what was going on, but to take the law and make it a minute crime to do these kind of things. And what did they do with minute crimes? They pretend they don't even happen. Are you freaking kidding me? And people don't want to or don't care to see it or stop it or do anything about it. But again, when it comes down to the time that this stuff is going on right here in your freaking neighborhood, and they're doing it to your children, and you will wish you would have stood up and did something to help and to stop it, and to stop it from coming into our neighborhoods and our lives. And not just about you. It's about being a human being, human decency, humanity. The one thing these people are trying to kill, humanity. You people out there need to have it. Because it's the only thing that's going to save anybody on this earth is humanity. That's what God gave us. Humanity. That's the way we're supposed to live on this earth, with humanity. And instead, they're killing the humanity, they're killing your faith, and they're killing everything God put on this earth for us. Nature, living free, having rights, happiness, love, joy, affection. They have killed every good thing on God's green earth, and you're going to allow it. If you allow it, you deserve what's coming. But for those of you who want to stand strong and not allow anything like this to ever happen to another human being, it's time to stand, unite, and fight. And the biggest part of the fight is your faith and the uniting of your people. All people under God. Doesn't matter your race, doesn't matter your religion, doesn't matter anything like that. All that matters is whether you're of God or you want to follow the evil. That's what matters. And don't you let the government keep putting that division between you by playing humanity against humanity and people against people. It is time for that BS to stop. Every race, every person, every nationality, and every religion has been attacked throughout time. Everybody has paid a due. By who? The runners of our government. So stop blaming people and stop blaming regular people like you and me, and start putting the blame where it belongs. The people who used us like pawns, the people who played everybody against each other, and the people who paid for it to happen and made it happen. Like playing little chess pieces across the board. Wasn't us. It was them. Wake up, people. Shortly after, independence consultants raised the arms that UN and NGO staff were abused and exploiting local women and girls in refugee camps in I hope I say this right, Guinea, Liberia, and this is the Sierra Leone. According to an I think it's OIOS, she called it OIS, Office of International Oversight Services in 2001. Investigation C's equals intimate exploitation and abuse was most common examples. The violent intimate relationships between a UN civilian staff member and a 17-year-old refugee in exchange for school fees. The violent intimate attacks, which I already explained that to you. I'm using that word for other reasons. By NGO staff of girls. The intimate attack of boys by Blue Helmets in Sierra Leone. The exchange for attacks and violent intimacy for food provided by NGO staff. The refusal of international staff to take responsibility of children that were fathered with local women in this way. Okay, that's just another note I wrote myself. From opportunistic, violent intimacy, abuse, transactional intimate abuse, networked intimate abuse, exploitation, planned, sadistic attacks, 2015 Central African Republic. 2 girls, ages 14 and 18, were gang intimately attacked by want to make sure I say this right. Minuscika. You know what? I'm going to just spell it for you. Minusca. I don't know how to pronounce it because it is African. Minuscika peacekeepers. Near their base, the 18-year-old had asked for some food. That's all she did, was ask for some food. The 14-year-old was walking by, simply walking by, and they took them both and gang intimately attacked them. Just makes me sick. I want to cry for these people. I want revenge for these people, honestly. That's what really goes through me. 14 years old, was just walking by. Same year, same country, homeless and starving boys, ages 8 to 15, were repeatedly attacked intimately by 26 UN peacekeepers. And UN peacekeepers randomly shot and killed a 16-year-old boy and his father, then viciously, intimately attacked a 12-year-old girl. Are you kidding me? Is it getting real enough for you yet? Can you handle the truth? Will you do something about it? 2016, more than 108 additional cases were investigated, including the brutal and intimate attack of 98 additional girls by international peacekeepers. The list of intimate attacks and exploitation by these supposed peacekeepers are endless. Endless. Also worse things. Way worse things. I cannot say on here, go look, do your own research, because I cannot put it all on here. Mainly because they don't want people to know the truth, especially this kind of truth and what is really going on by the exact people you are supposed to trust. We must stop, and we must put a stop to all this evil going on. Period. Period. We have to stand together. We have to unite. We have to do what's right, and we have to stop the evil that exists in this world today. It is repulsive and disgusting, vicious and violent, and no human being deserves to go through this kind of stuff. And understand, if you don't wake up and wake other people up and put a stop to this, this will be your reality soon. Doesn't even matter that other people are getting hurt to some people, but they will when it comes knocking on their door. To me, it matters no matter who you are, no matter where you are. It needs to be stopped. You with true of heart know that. It's time to stand, unite, and take a handle of this. And it's time to fight. It's time to say enough is enough. This can no longer go on. And it damn sure cannot end up worldwide. It's got to be stopped. Every bit of these kind of actions have to be stopped. And the only way we can do it is uniting. Your faith, who you are, what you believe in, and your biggest part of your army is your faith for up above. Know that. The rest of the biggest part of your army is by uniting your people. And your people are all God's people, which means all of us. I'm going to have to stop there. Perfect timing. I know I didn't get through a whole lot of this, but this was so important to spend time on. I am very much glad to spend the time on it that is needed today. So I do not feel one bit of like I wasted my time on here yapping, because everything I said needed to be said. It needed to be heard, and it needed to be really dragged out, because this is not something that should be taken lightly. This part, I will spend as much time as I need to wake people up about and to show you. But if you haven't woke up by this video right here, I don't know if I can wake you up. This is probably the most important video I've put out so far in explaining the depths of evil that's going on right now in today's world. Right now in our timeline, and has been going on for centuries. And it has to stop. It has to be stopped. And because I'm right there at that time limit where I have to end this, I'm going to, even though I would love to stay and just keep jabbing. Leave me some comments below on how you think, how you feel. If this video touched you, please let me know. Also, give me a thumbs up in the top area under this. It'll have 2 thumbs. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. And please share my videos and make sure your friends and family know to subscribe. We need to wake up everybody we can. And if I have to do it by myself, I will. But I would love you guys to join me and to join the group and to spread this everywhere. And we have other groups out there that we will eventually join up with. So please, please start here. And as I put my group together, I have some friends, and we will be moving into some different groups and having them join us, and we will join them. And I hope you guys will stay with me and help us to grow and spread and reach everybody that we can. I love you guys. Have a great night. God bless. Stay strong. We have to do this, not just for ourselves and what's coming, but for these poor victims who've been victimized way too long. God bless them. Say a prayer for them tonight. Say a prayer for us. And let's start reaching out there and grabbing a hold of anybody we can and waking them up. And the ones who deserve it will be woken. The ones that are too far gone, it's sad to say, as my friend told me last night, it may be too late for them. But I will not stop trying. All right, guys. God bless. Have a great night. Love you. Will not.